Let me show you something. White base, multicolored gel paint watercolor effect, color foil, matte top coat. All improvised, zero plan walking in. And somewhere in the middle of this, someone gave us their very honest opinion. It was not a compliment. Hey, I'm Olga, and today I'm showing you how my client Esther and I built a full nail look with zero gatekeeping, zero safety net, and total creative freedom. The result is at the end. Stay with me. Watch until the end because I'm going to tell you exactly what Esther's mom said when she saw these nails. Spoiler, it wasn't "love it, babe." I'm also breaking down the one technique that makes gel paints spread and blend like real watercolor. Not streaky, not muddy, actually translucent. That's in section 10. Don't skip. And at some point, I'm going to show you what Esther's nails looked like before today. How long had she been wearing them? I'll get to that. But I want you watching when it comes up. So Esther is a regular client. She's been coming to me for a while. She trusts the process, she doesn't micromanage, she lets me work. She sits down and I ask, "What are we doing today?" And she goes, "Something colorful, something different, something special." Which, as every nail tech knows, is basically surprise me but also read my mind. So I asked the follow-up questions. Elegant, bold, warm, cool, spring, summer? She said, happy, something happy. Okay, happy nails, extremely actionable. Practical, moving forward, we both grabbed our phones. Pinterest, orange marble background. That gave us a starting point, not a destination, just a starting point. Before any color, though, corrective fill first. She was coming in at 4 weeks. And this is where I want you to actually look at her previous set. 4 weeks in, with real dried flowers embedded in the gel on her ring fingers. No lifting, no breaks. 4 weeks of real life on those nails, and they were still intact. That's not luck. That's prep, structure, and proper product layering every time. Quick pause. If you're already into this, hit like right now. Not at the end, now. You're gonna get distracted by the actual nail process in about 30 seconds and forget. I know how this goes. Okay, fill done. White base laid down and cured. Clean slate. I pulled out my gel paint palette, the neon one, 9 colors. When you open the lid, they all kind of scream at you at once. The plan was orange marble, orange, nude, soft neutrals, watercolor wash effect. And then Esther looked at the palette and pointed at the blue, and the green, and the hot pink, and the neon yellow. I said, "Esther, that's not orange marble anymore." She said, "I know, but that's what I want." I said, "Okay, let's go." Index finger, pink and orange, blended out using builder gel as a spreading medium. Middle, mint green, and blue, mixed directly on the nail. The combination looks impossible in the pot and perfect on the nail. Steady, descriptive. Ring, purple and lilac on white. Soft, diffused, no hard lines. Pinky, lime green, and yellow. Pure energy. Thumb, by that point, neither of us was tracking the logic anymore. The thumb did whatever it wanted. Genuine admiration. I looked at the full hand and thought, this is Picasso, nail art Picasso. Every single nail a different world, no two the same, and it was exactly what we wanted without either of us planning it 5 minutes earlier. Creative chaos is a real technique, underrated. Though, and I'll be upfront, there was a moment mid-process where we both looked at the hand and almost scrapped everything. That moment's coming. Keep watching. If you're new here, hey, this channel launched in February. We've already got 136 videos up. 136 videos of real sessions, real clients, real decisions made in real time, including the ones where I wasn't sure it was going to work. No gatekeeping, no perfect lighting hiding the process, just actual nail work. If that's what you're here for, subscribe. Button's right there. And then it happened. Esther's phone rang. Her mom. Video call. Esther showed her the hand, no hesitation. Her mom looked at it and said, horroroso, which translates to horrifying. Now, important context. This wasn't a reaction to the nails being unfinished. This is just who Esther's mom is. She's a classic nail person. Nude, natural, maybe a clean French for special occasions. That's her world. That's what she loves. And that is completely valid. For her, color marble is already too much. Foil is too much. Multicolor watercolor art, we don't even have a word for that in her vocabulary. She followed up with, but if you like it, do it. And then, I like the classic. Esther and I looked at each other and kept going. Because here's the thing about taste. There is no wrong answer. There's just different answers. We didn't send her the final photo, by the way. We already know what she'd say. I like the classic. Always. Tell me in the comments, are you a classic or chaos person when it comes to nail art? I'm genuinely curious, because in my studio, I see both every single week, and they're equally fun to work with, just in completely different ways. Drop it below. I read them. Okay, real talk. There was a point in this process where I genuinely questioned what we were doing. I looked at Esther's hand, all those gel paints uncured, not yet unified, foil pieces on top adding more visual noise, and I thought, are we creating something or destroying something? The critical moment was when we had blue foil on one finger, pink on another, gold on a third, green on a fourth, and the whole hand looked like a paint factory explosion, not a clean one. Esther looked at me and said, Olga. I said, I know. She said, should we ripe it? And I said, wait for the matte top coat. And I took a breath. Because matte top coat is not a finishing step, it's a transformation step, and I knew what it was going to do. 4 weeks, no lifting, no breaks, real dried flowers embedded in the structure. That's the kind of work that earns trust. So we didn't wipe, we kept going. Okay, here's exactly how the watercolor effect works. No gatekeeping. I don't apply gel paint straight from the pot onto the nail. I mix it with builder gel used as a spreading medium. Small amount of gel paint, small amount of builder gel. Ratio matters. Too much builder gel and the color washes out. Too little and you lose the spreadability. What happens, the color becomes translucent. It self-levels on the nail surface. It bleeds into the adjacent color naturally, without forced blending, without streaks, without hard edges. It behaves like actual watercolor on actual paper. That's the goal. For the foil, timing is everything. Apply foil before top coat on uncured gel. Press lightly, color side up, then cure. When you do it this way, the foil isn't sitting on top of the nail like a sticker. It's integrated into the gel layer. It's part of the structure. It won't peel, it won't lift, it moves with the nail. That's what makes the difference between a set that lasts and a set that doesn't. And then the moment. The moment. Matte top coat. Applied it nail by nail, even coverage, no rushing. Cured. And when Esther pulled her hand out of the lamp, silence. Actual silence. The colors that were screaming were now whispering. The matte finish unified the whole hand without flattening any of the individual nails. Every color still there, every nail still its own thing, but now it read as a complete set. The foil caught light differently under matte, deeper, more intentional looking. It went from work in progress to finished art in one cure cycle. Esther stared at her hand for a few seconds without saying anything, then said, "Oh my God." And honestly, same. Because the process surprised me too, and that's the part of this job I never get tired of. Every nail different, every nail intentional, chaos that became structure. Watercolor, marble, gel paint, foil, matte top coat, and the willingness to not wipe it midway. That's the full technique. Esther's mom? We didn't send her the photo. We know what she'd say. I like the classic, and she's right, for her. But we are more than happy with how this turned out, no question. If you take one thing from this video, trust the process past the ugly middle. Every set has an ugly middle. Unblended colors, foil that looks random, structure that doesn't make sense yet. Wait for the matte top coat, wait for the cure, then decide. Esther, thanks for trusting the process, for being the Picasso neither of us knew you were. If you found this useful, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Classic or chaos? Let me know. See you in the next one. Beauty that is, above all, safe.